Welcome to the 2022 Survive to Thrive launch event. My name is Tim. I am the CEO of Impact Nations International Ministries, and we are delighted to have you join us this evening. Tonight, we are going to be telling you all about our Survive to Thrive program, whereby we are rescuing pregnant teens from incredibly dangerous situations and bringing them hope and really changing the entire trajectory of their lives. I'm really excited to share some stories with you, but I'm also very excited to be joined by our special guest. I call her Mom. You can call her Christina. Or in Africa, where she's coming to us from, they actually call her Mama Christina. Mom, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be together.
I mentioned Africa. What exactly is your location at the moment?
Right now, we're in Kampala. We came last week, and we're working with the remnant generation, the girls in the shelter, the staff, and today we've spent with our other partner, Trinity, at ERA 92.
The Remnant Generation is our partner that works with the pregnant teens. We've been working with them for years, and it has been amazing to see the growth in their reach in the community. And they're now reaching so many communities. I can't even remember the names of all these different places, but the work that they do is so incredibly important. They are rescuing teenage girls, and we're talking girls as young as 12, I think, from dangerous situations. We're talking about prostitution, homelessness, abuse, domestic abuse, things like that. And very often these are young women who have been impregnated at the hands of their abuser. Our team rescues them and provides shelter for them, helps them get the health care that they need, provides counseling, and then we're able to cover all of their medical bills to make sure that their baby is safely delivered. You've been able to interact with some of these girls. What are some of the stories you're hearing from some of these young women who have been rescued?
The stories are very shocking. You know, it's one thing to look at numbers. The numbers are shocking and distressing. But then when you actually sit with a girl and she feels safe enough to tell you her story, that her father sold her to another man or married her off to someone else, or mother abandoned and there's no one to take care of them and they have to feed their younger siblings, so they go out and sell their body. Just shocking story after story. And I had a profound experience yesterday where a young woman named Annette, who was raped, became pregnant, told her family about the pregnancy. They didn't believe about the rape. They didn't believe her. They accused her of being sexually active and basically kicked her out. She had no medical care. She was found, rescued, went into labor, taken to hospital, ended up needing a C-section. Some of these girls are so tiny that their bodies are not prepared to be giving birth. Yeah. And so she had a C-section, and then it turned out that the baby was deformed and is going to need a lot of surgical care. And she was so incredibly thankful for the rescue. She said, I would have died in my village. I would have died if I had just been left on my own. My baby would have died. Yeah. I'm alive. My baby is alive. And she was so thankful. But the stories of fathers selling their daughters to get a bit of money. Everyone being locked down during COVID meant access and frustration and abuse was happening all over the place. A lot of pregnancies, men or women selling their daughters off for marriage, getting a bride price for them. Yeah. There's a lot that we're praying that will change in this culture, but we're beginning to see people wake up to the reality of what the situation is.
Yeah. At Impact Nations, we say we rescue lives, and we really quite literally mean that. You mentioned, Mom, that these young girls, without medical intervention, many of them would die. Their babies definitely would not survive. And so through the Survive to Thrive program, actually, you're rescuing two lives, that of a mother and of her child, and then often that leads to generational change as well, even going up the generations, right? Like we're seeing their parents
when they restore them to their families. Yeah. And the girl, when she comes back from the School of Purpose, the Survive to Thrive, she has a skill. So now she can actually contribute to the finances of the family. And that is amazing to watch, how that opens doors for them.
Yeah. One such story we've heard is Chantel, and we've got a video to share with our viewers tonight. Chantel, beautiful young woman who has gone through the Survive to Thrive program, and everything changed for her. So why don't we roll that video? I think you're going to be really encouraged by this.
Myaka 7 abayekera ne bajja ewaffe nga banoonya taata tebamusangawo ne basanga nze ne mama wange ne mukulu wange abasajja ne batandika okunkozesa nga sitegeera. Nagenda olaba nga musaayi gunfuluma mungi nga sibitegeera, nga ne mama wange bamukozesa nga mpulira emiranga nga kinakosebwa nnyo. Nali suulira bulungi nga n'okutuula sobola atuula. Ne ntandika okufuna obujjanjabi naye ng'obujjanjabi tebumala. Ne wayita ku nnaku taata n'akuba essimu etutambulira ku lyato ku mazzi ne tujja Uganda. We naweza myaka 16 natuuka akaseera ne ntandika okweraba nga lwaki nze sifuna mutanjagala. Kati ne ndowooza nti okufuna omulenzi njafuna omulenzi agenda okunjagala naye ate ekitaali kituufu naye yankozesa bukozesa ne nfuna olubuto. Obulamu bwange ne bukaluba ne mbeera mu kutya ne ngezaako n'okwetta. Aba Remnant Generation bajja ewaka nga ndi mu mbeera mbi. Bwe bantuusa mu shelter ne bantwala mu kiriniki yaabwe ne bankebera, ne bakebera olubuto lwange, ne bapima pressure yange, then ne bampa eddagala, ne bampa akakimba k'ensiri, ne bampa n'ebintu ebirala by'okukozesa. Bandabirira bulungi nga ne nfiiringa nga kifo nzijjamu mu kifo bino byonna biziza mu ddwaliro zonna aba Impact Nations be baazisasula. I really thank the Remnant Generation and the Impact Nation for helping me, and the most I thank God because I'm still alive.
Wow, what an amazing story. Just it is so heartwarming to see the difference that can be made. And I can't wait to continue to rescue more young women like Chantel. I should mention to our viewers, by the way, in that video, you can see footage of her getting her prenatal checkups and stuff, and all that happens right there on site. We've got a midwife on staff with our team there so that these young women at the shelter can get the care that they need, but also even young women from around the community are coming to us to get their prenatal care. So that's pretty incredible. Mom, you recently had an opportunity to take a tour of the shelter, and I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about what it felt like to be there.
Sure. One of the things that I loved is that there's a good sized lot around the shelter, and there's beautiful trees and green and fresh breeze blowing through, and that's awesome. It really feels quite family. The girls are sharing rooms. They have different rooms for different stages of where the girls are at. They all look after each other's babies. You know, some of them are still quite pregnant, and others have already had their babies, and they're sharing and taking care. And the babies were so happy. I never heard babies crying. Like, it was amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and even to see some of the kids. So some of the alumni come back and help with the teaching. And so now I'm seeing their toddlers wandering around that I saw as babies 2 years ago. So I'm a mom. It was great.
That's awesome. Let's have a look at the tour.
Mama Christina. Impact Nations. Earlier in this year, we had issues. We have been losing babies, and we felt like some deaths could be prevented. We got COVID. Oxygen was a thing in Uganda. And then later on, we had another outbreak of colds and coughs. It was too much. It needed nebulizing, sucking out things, and then using the pulsimeter to see oxygen levels. If they are low, you just put on oxygen. That was just the management. And just the ins and outs of hospitals were costly. So we wrote to you guys, and guess what? We got that machine, and it's called the oxygen concentrator. It's an electric machine. You just switch it on. It has two poles You connect the nozzle prongs immediately. Once you switch it on here, you just know which oxygen to give the baby at which age, and the baby's life is saved just like that. Magic everywhere. And then we had the nebulizer. In case the babies are having difficulty with breathing, the breathing is not coming out, the pulsometer shows you oxygen levels are going low, immediately you get that thing going, you put the medication and the steam, everything just makes the mucus runny and the baby's airway is cleared and we are able to have breath. So thank you so much. Together we just want to say a proper thank you. In our culture we kneel down to really mean that we are really serious and sincere. Thank you so much, Impact Nations. Thank you, Mama Christina and the entire team. May God reward you abundantly.
Thank you.
We love you.
Now, Ruth, you told me that 7 babies have died in this in the 3 years. Did you say?
Yes, in the 3 years, yes.
So, do you know how many babies have been born who have lived?
Yeah, last year alone. Do you want to know?
Yes.
So our target was 100 teen mothers with 100 babies.
Oh my
so
goodness.
we got 96 babies.
Okay.
Those were all saved, 96 babies, and then we also have what we call the safe motherhood spaces. I'm sure we shall have one of that activity next week and you get to appreciate what that looks like. So that sort of means just going there, taking a service from this room to the girls there and give extra support to health workers at health centers and create safe spaces which are stigma-free. Teen mothers can relate, talk, and then provide scan services for free of charge. And then starter kits, delivery kits, like how Isaiah wants to call them. Delivery kits. So we give them kits so they know when you're in for labor, this is what you need and it's getting you started. So yeah, last year we worked with 367 teen mothers in those spaces. Wow. And those are all babies saved just because of a delivery kit and a free scan service and the emergencies which were responded to just there. You just check on a scan, baby's water is low, oligohydramnios. Hey. So, and then you just try and immediately emergency C-section. So, thank you, Impact Nation.
Awesome.
Thank you. Our hearts are full. I walk with heads up, knowing my Messiah, my Jesus, Emmanuel is with me.
This is the resident, where the girls live. The resident ones, and this is part of the room, and this is also part of the rooms. We had to arrange it in this way so that it can accommodate a number of them with the nature of cases we are having. And this room currently takes in 22 girls at a time compared to the previous one. The other one could only accommodate 16.
Right.
And for it is even cheaper than the other one we had previously.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So 22 girls and their babies.
yes, this is the baby.
This is
This is the baby we're going to find in the other room, but she's here now.
Oh, so we shouldn't come in. She's isolated.
It's okay.
We can just have a look at her.
Very beautiful.
This is baby Promise. Let's say have a mommy Promise.
Meet baby Promise and mommy Promise. Yes.
Well, I have to admit, Mom, I'm a little jealous. It's been a while since I've been in Uganda too, because of the pandemic and stuff. But just to see you guys out in the community and see these beautiful young faces and how we're interacting with them, I can't wait to get there myself.
The contrast between where they were and where they are is so exciting.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, so our viewers are watching this and they're saying, "How can I get involved? I want to be a help. I want to help make this a reality for more young women." The Survive to Thrive 2022 campaign is all about that. This is helping you rescue lives in Uganda. Our goal is to impact 1,200 teen moms this year. We're doing that in a variety of ways. One of the things is we are providing safe spaces in 8 different hospitals and clinics in many different communities in Uganda. One of the things, Mom, that is always shocking to me is to hear about the level of shame that's involved coming from medical professionals towards these young women. When they come into a regular hospital pregnant, there's like instant judgment, isn't there?
Yes, and it's shocking how they don't really understand the stories behind what's in front of them.
Yeah. So we've created these safe spaces for these young women to go, where we've actually got staff specially trained to be able to do intake for these young women and to operate with empathy and compassion, so that they are able to enter into the next phase of their journey, which is healing, and of course going through all of the medical attention that's coming their way throughout their pregnancy. So we've got those safe spaces. We've got the shelter. We've talked about that. We're providing shelter for many, many months for these young moms to be, and then of course covering the medical expenses for many of these young women who would otherwise have absolutely no recourse and would die. Mom, you have been seeing just the reaction from people who have benefited, seems like too soft of a word, but really have been rescued through this program. What's some of the reaction you're getting from some of those young women?
You know, all of the staff at the Remnant Generation are very free to thank Impact Nations and to champion what we're doing. And it's very much a relationship where they thank us and then we thank our donors, you know. And we are so thankful to be able to be on the front line of rescuing. And these girls, some of them, I've met some of them that have only been rescued days earlier, and they don't really know what's happened to them. They haven't quite figured it all out yet. And they have that kind of dazed look in their eyes, and they're looking around trying to figure out what the deal is. And gradually they figure out that the deal is, this is genuine, this is like family, this is love, this is acceptance, this is understanding, this is physical help and emotional help. And so it's a profound journey that they're on.
Yeah. So if you're watching this and you would like to help a young woman begin her profound journey, you can. If you head to impactnations.com/thrive, there's a few different ways you can help. For starters, our goal this year is $80,000. We have more and more and more lives to rescue every single year. So this year we're looking to raise $80,000. I've got great news. We've got matching dollars right now. So when you give, your gift is going to be doubled right off the bat. The other thing you can do, in addition to give, is tell other people. We really want to get as many people involved as possible. So we've got a way for you to do that. If you become an ambassador, what that means is you're starting your own fundraising page, and you set a goal, whatever you feel comfortable with. You set a goal for yourself and for your community, and you say, hey, friends, family, let's do this together. We're rescuing lives. We're going to rescue these precious young teen moms, and they can give on your very specific page. You set a goal. They're going to be able to see the meter, see exactly how much people have given towards your specific campaign, and then every time they give, like I said, that's being matched, and that's going to fill that meter up to the 80,000. That's our goal. You know what? We're launching this just before Mother's Day, and we're doing that on purpose because this is all about mothers. And for those of us who have been privileged to grow up with an amazing mom, or you are a mom and you had the healthcare that you needed to be able to support your baby, I think that this is really going to touch your heart. This is going to touch your mom's heart. So even for Mother's Day, maybe you want to start a campaign surrounding mothers and say, hey, moms out there, let's do this together. Or you want to honor your mom by giving a gift in honor of your mother for Mother's Day. So do that. Please help us reach our goal of $80,000. Together we can do this. I am absolutely confident we're going to rescue all of these teen moms, 1,200 of them, imagine. You can change the entire future for generations in Uganda by becoming a donor and by becoming a fundraiser, by becoming an ambassador at impactnations.com/thrive. You can go there regularly to see updates. This very video, if you want to share tonight's event with others, it's going to be hosted on there. And Mom, I'm sure you're going to be sharing some more videos and stuff. I know some of your team have collected a lot of stuff, so they're going to have some updates and stuff on there. It's going to be pretty cool. Mom, do you have anything to say to our viewers before we log out here?
Well, I just want to let them know that my partner Annabelle is actually going to be in Albuquerque for the Beautiful Gospel Conference.
Yeah.
And so they might like to come and get to interact with her. I've just been doing some recording with her. She is amazing. It's very humbling to hang around her vision and her leadership skills. And you would love to sit and listen to this woman talk.
Absolutely. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It has been a joy to share some of these stories with you, but please don't let it stop at just heartwarming stories. These stories can only continue through your generosity, through your ambassadorship. Head to impactnations.com/thrive tonight. Become an ambassador, give, encourage others to give, share your campaign regularly each and every day on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, whatever your jam is. Tell other people about it. I'm sure they're going to want to join you in rescuing lives. Together, we're going to make a massive difference in Uganda this year. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Tim, can I close in prayer?
Yes, please. Thank you. That'd be amazing.
Father, we just thank you for this time together. And I thank you for the privilege of being here in Uganda. I thank you, Lord, that they've been waiting for us to come and to just reconnect and be able to walk through their space and bless it and bless the staff. Lord, what an incredible staff the Remnant Generation has. And it's been great to minister to them. Father, I thank you for the opportunity we've had to be with these girls and to get out into the community and meet the alumni. I speak blessing over all of them right now. And for those in the other shelters that we're going to be visiting, we speak blessing. Father, we pray for this Survive to Thrive campaign that every single need will be met, that we will be able to rescue 1,200 teen moms and their babies and set them on a course toward their own destiny in the Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for all of this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thanks, Mom. Thank you all so much for being with us. Head to impactnations.com/thrive right now. Get your campaign started. Let's go change the world.